Girl, I forgot to hit the go live all this time.
We had a practice run.
All that time. Well, that's interesting. It's like the lens cap was still on.
Hey, listen, that was what we just did, a practice run.
OMG. OMG. And none of that was recorded. That is so funny.
And you did so well, like with the intro and the countdown.
Girl, we got to do it again.
We do. We got to do it again.
Okay, the thing is on. Hold on. We're going to do this again.
And the weed man already came.
There you go. About to get my page shut down already. What is this? 1 minute in, you're going to get the page shut down. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show. Hey.
Hey, hey.
We back.
Guess who's back? Back again. No, I'm just kidding.
Girl. For anybody who is tuning in now.
Take two.
I forgot to hit the go live button. We've just been talking since 5:15. Child, it's an hour. An hour and 10 minutes later. Dang. I'm so sorry. Officially, my apologies.
No, this is no need to apologize. This is one of those situations that it's podcast life, right? Like this is just what comes along with it. But I think it helped us get our thoughts in order in the sense of with this cast, and I told you this before, I'm having a little bit of a hard time because I feel like we're looking at a combination of reality stars trying to maneuver, right? And with the clunky cast. So I'm struggling with what people's motivations are behind the scenes and in front of the camera.
You mean, okay, give me an example.
Well, like I said, I think Kyle has no storyline. So I feel like she's constantly inserting herself into everyone else's this season in particular. Like I don't want to watch Kyle get up and walk over and sit down next to someone having an argument and interrupt the conversation one more time. Because no, unless you are specifically involved, unless Kyle Richards said something that needs to be addressed within this conversation, I don't want to watch you walk up to another person having a conflict and then saying something as though you know what's going on, or that your judgment on a piece of it is enough to inject yourself into the conversation.
Right.
And I literally sit there and I wonder when I watched Kyle, especially this episode, are you doing this because you have nothing better? Are you doing this because you're trying to stay in the mix on the show? Because I don't know why otherwise.
Kyle, and
feel
Kyle is trying to exert her pseudo authority
yes.
as, and she's trying to be someone who is not in the mix of things, but as she inserts herself, she's coming in on the wrong broom.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks very broomy because she's choosing the wrong side. It's like her value system is all screwed up.
Yeah, because I don't appreciate Kyle's judgment on the scenarios or on the situations that she's inserting herself in. You
Right.
know, like when she apologized to Sutton that that's not what she meant, I appreciated that. Like, I don't think we need to lose our minds that Kyle, I get that Kyle wasn't doubting Sutton's experience, but
Mm-hmm.
what my point would have been to Kyle is you missed the whole thing where you should just apologize to Sutton for opening your mouth. She was
Right.
in the middle of an emotional conversation. You chose to walk on over. You chose to sit down with your very drunk ass, as you admitted yourself, and while they were in the middle of an emotional conversation, and then you started directing whether or not the way Sutton was approaching Diana was appropriate. And if I were Sutton, I would want to backhand you in the mouth because it's not your job to direct. I feel like Kyle thinks she's like superior to Sutton in some sort of way because she feels very entitled to correct her.
Right.
And I hate it.
And it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You're not even correct. There's no
Yeah.
need to correct anything.
Yeah, Sutton is allowed to be herself however she chooses to deliver it, as awkward as she wants to be. Just because she was awkward at your house about Dorit doesn't mean you get to correct her behavior all over the place. She just gets to be socially awkward Sutton. Like, besides, you are uh annoyingly assuming Kyle right now. So you need to be corrected too.
Yeah, like heifer.
Yeah, stop correcting her. It's really, I don't like it. Ever since last season, she's been trying to correct Sutton, and it's nope.
What I don't get is how does well, I'll say this. How is it that these men can talk so freely about their castmates and it still be acceptable because it's their husbands talking and they're not going to correct their husbands? Well, that means you never said anything behind closed doors about it. Apparently, you think it's okay, just like you thought it was okay that she cussed out a 14-year-old. See what I'm going with this value system of Kyle's
Right.
and Dorit's too? They're more or less one and the same, or at least Dorit is trying to get on Kyle's level.
I agree.
Not that I believe in this system, that's just what they're doing. Not, and I think I'm correct.
I think I agree with you. And my take on it as well is that I think what we're watching them do when they get together as a foursome, as a couple,
Mhm.
is kind of do that petty gossiping kind of stuff
Yeah.
that couples often do, and where the men rarely ever are aware of all the details, because I don't know too many husbands that let, like, that retain all of that info, whether or not they listen to their wives gossip or not. You know what I mean? Um, and I think that the problem is they don't ever think about whether or not what they're commenting on, they don't ever think about the repercussions of what things they choose to talk about. Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
It's like when Mauricio said, I'm glad she said that. I could tell he was trying to do some kind of dry, like, stupid humor response to what Kyle was saying. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like, it doesn't play well, Mauricio, because you didn't see the way that Erica literally out of nowhere just humorlessly barked at Jade. Get the fuck out of here. It was like, whoa, snarly beast.
Yeah, it was very get out of here, kid, you're bothering me type
Yeah,
of, you
yeah.
know,
Get the fuck
very,
out of here.
what is that word? Belligerent and blatant.
Yeah.
And she meant to say it. It's not like excuse her, she'll know who she was talking to. No, she saw who she was talking to. She knew exactly who she was talking to and felt like it was okay.
I mean, I do understand what they were kind of trying to get at is that Erica is going through a really hard time. So it's not surprising that she's doing some dumb stuff. But back to your point, I think the reason that it doesn't come off properly is because they're still pushing this narrative of poor Erica. And I'm just glad to see her like letting her hair down. It's like, there's a misguide the audience as a viewer. I'm not here, like we said, I'm not here to give Erica the benefit of the doubt yet. I'm just not. I'm not here to be emotionally understanding of what Erica is going through before I'm going to be offended that she was really, really nasty to a 14-year-old. As own mother's birthday party.
Yeah, like
No.
must we be reminded of how she barked at who that Eileen?
Right.
About mentioning the safety of her kid, grown ass kid who can survive a rollover crash on the ice in Pasadena. That kid, right?
Yep.
Okay, just want to be clear who we talking about.
That grown man, police officer. Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no.
If Erica maybe talked about some of the dynamics, like some of the realities of like what being married to Tom was like if she maybe shared some things that because she was very buttoned up in previous seasons, right?
Right.
I would be here for a look behind the curtain a little bit more with Erica. Like you could be a bit of a hot mess this season and give me some give me some insight as to why you are the way you are, or like what was really going on, because it's obvious in the previous season before the things that there were truth and there were lies in what you shared. So why don't you give me some more stuff instead of this? Oh, I'm just happy to see her letting her hair down. No, we're watching someone self-implode right now. That's what we're doing. It's just not fun. It's just sloppy.
Yeah, and did you check out how she was real concerned about Garcelle in the car? She was real nervous about seeing Garcelle, knowing she would have to address it when she saw her.
Yes.
That's why I was like, she came over there twice to you initially, and then again, where nobody was around, they left. And Garcelle still didn't say nothing.
Garcelle wanted the audience, and rightfully so. She's like, oh no, bitch, we getting this full scene, group participate, you apologizing to everyone so that I can not only accept, so that I can say what I need to say and say on camera in front of everyone, I'm concerned about your behavior and your drinking.
I think she should have just stayed with the mixing of the substance and the alcohol is a concern for the outright.
Yeah.
At the what is it called? Outright admittal that I wouldn't even say alcoholism. I would just say continue with that narrative she said in the beginning and just run with that. I'm concerned about the, voicing loudly about the mixing of substance and, and alcohol. And it needs to be addressed because it's not a good look for these rich white women to promote. They're actually promoting it. They've been doing it for seasons. And they haven't put not one sign up there that says, if you are struggling with such and such.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They're promoting it. Like, this is what we do here. We like, I remember the Xanax and the smoothie situation. What?
Well, I mean, the reality is that I mean, the reality is these shows even in and of themselves create addicts, like create people that abuse substances. So on one hand, I also know, you're allowed to have your own journey with substances, and I'm going to judge you, right? But at the same time, you're the one that has to call for your own life, whether there's a problem or not, or whatever, But at the same time, they weaponize that when they feel like it, right? Because I do think this is an example where her behavior is she's openly talking about what she's doing. And we know that that's not a smart thing to do or a safe thing, right? But like, her behavior is so drastically different. You can't blame Garcelle for being like, hey, you're not acting like yourself at all. So I'm concerned about what you're doing. You know what I mean? And it is reckless of Kyle to be like, and Dory, well, we think she's so fun. We like it. It's like the two storyline. It's one of those things where they weaponize it. And I don't think that's fair. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we can't ignore what we're watching. Like,
I mean, that's serious. It's going to come out. And it's not like they're just promoting weed smoke, because that's not an issue. But they're, mixing substances where we know people have not lived beyond doing that. To a certain degree, most people lie about their intake. So you really don't know. You have to presume the worst when people are, in that way. I mean, I think so.
Yes.
Because you really don't know what they're doing. You know what they tell you. But, 9 times out of 10, people who do that aren't truthful with the intake.
No, I agree.
I just hope that she doesn't think this is some mechanism to make her look more or less like the victim, when I think it's doing the opposite. It just, girl, I wouldn't even said I was mixing drugs and alcohol. Period.
I know, right? That's not something I would admit. I would keep my shenanigans to myself. I would just honestly, if that's what I was choosing to do, I would not be telling people. But so, I mean,
it's real obvious she's not smoking weed, because it's real easy to say, yeah, a little pot every now and again, because the way it interferes with alcohol and other things is not necessarily a deadly combination versus a chemical based substance.
She looks to me like she's that bad combo of antidepressants and alcohol. Like it says on the bottle, you're not supposed to drink because it can make you pass out. Like there's all kinds of and Lisa Rinna, even as we know, says it in a later
That's so weird.
episode. It very much, you cannot, on certain antidepressants, it will make you extra drunk.
Do you know how it makes that person feel when they're under all of that?
I mean, just super like messy drunk, really, is what like it makes it like the inebriation way worse. So
That's
it does
crazy.
make it doesn't like what her behavior does make sense, but like she's casually justifying it like it's not a problem though, and it's like no 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 no. What the signs are is that your body's telling you you can't do it. Your body's saying this is not a good combo for you
I
because
hope she's
you
I hope she's getting those IV infusions the day after. That's what she needs.
well because she's binging right now. Like we keep watching her. Once she starts at an event, she keeps going,
Yeah,
and she doesn't
yeah,
have a stop button, and she did before. And
that's
that's
crazy.
obviously a sign of there's a problem. But hey, listen, I understand that Erica is in a situation where she's gonna probably be a wreck for a couple of like who knows how long, like, but a couple years or whatever. I just don't know if I want to watch that. So
Girl, look, hello, can you hear me?
yes.
Okay. Considering the news we got last week or 2 weeks ago, which was well after filming the episodes we are critiquing now, you
Mm-hmm.
can imagine what under what stress this woman has on the hook for so far $27 million.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, plus earrings and other things. Girl, they gonna find a way to make more stick through a loophole.
They've only barely just begun. That's the thing. Like
Ooh,
ever
child.
that's why when she said that I was absolved of all the things they've accused me of, no, bitch, you have not. They've barely gotten started. The only thing they've established is you don't have $25 million sitting somewhere. You don't. That's or
Oh yeah, because they will be looking at everything
right.
she did, no matter what it was used for. They will have to research.
They figured out that regardless of what there's proof now that you spent $14 million, like $14 million were spent on you with an Amex, all of your needs. you know they've established certain things, right? And they're just
Yeah,
going to keep establishing more and more and more. They're going to
right.
they're going to they're going to find more gifts, they're going to find more hidden accounts, they're going to find more shell companies. But because he's John Girardi is labeled incompetent, I mean, they have to, it's a needle in a haystack,
Yeah.
or a bunch of needles and hitting in the haystack. But I mean, and she literally, like, they've just begun to sue her too on her own. You know what I mean? Like, this has only just begun. You haven't been absolved of nothing. Nothing. So yeah, I mean, I can't really say that I'm surprised she's in this condition. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? But like I said, I don't know how long I want to watch it, because there's no contrition there at all. There's no like, my life's a total mess, but I feel really horrible for the fact that there are innocent people out there that, whether intentionally or not, were negatively affected by my lavish lifestyle.
And I agree. And I think she is working really hard because it made me really, what you said triggered me. It made me think really hard at it made me think at how hard she is trying to make herself look not like I knew, but
Right.
just being me. Not, but girl, you knew the money came from such and such, and you didn't question it. So any money that you got, you wouldn't question because it could come from the actual law firm itself. So she's saying, so in a sense, you knew, but it didn't matter to you as long as the money comes.
Yeah. And she's also saying that, like, she's acting like because she didn't know, she's as much of a victim as they are, and that she isn't operating with any reverence for the true victims because she's acting like she didn't know that qualifies her at the same level. And that's what bothers me. It's like, it doesn't matter if you did or didn't know. You still have to have some reverence that your lifestyle was taken off the backs of innocent people. Like, you still need to have reverence for a crime was committed on your behalf. You didn't have to know anything about it. You still lived on blood money. You still lived on blood money. Show some reverence for the people that really, truly didn't sign up for this, but you did.
I think she's just not doing that to just make people believe that she is not guilty of any of it. So she is, I just don't think she even would say, I apologize for my wrongdoing, and please understand none of it was malicious. And say something like you're saying. But I just think she's really just playing that hardball, hard-nosed character like most gold diggers do. You deny till the end. Deny till the end. And that's what she's doing.
I feel like she's also talked herself into this role and feels entitled to kind of be like this hot mess, you know?
Well, it's worked for her. I'm pretty sure that, who was that? Was it the Wynn owner or some big time dude?
Oh yeah, that's Vegas? Right. Mm-hmm.
And that was right, like that was last year sometime, maybe last summer, I believe. I think when she said when she filed, she was free to date again, which is we know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
And she says she's been having sex, so I wonder if any income now is being garnished.
I don't think they're done processing all of it enough yet. I don't think so. I don't think
they can start with the subtotal.
They're still reconciling the Girardi Keys estate and all of that.
I'll be like, move on. Let's do this.
I know.
We can do a subtotal and start there. We need some payments coming in.
Well, I think that's what they're trying to do with certain things that they can prove exactly where the money is quickly, right? Because with the Lion Air case, that was, that's why the earrings are up as quickly as they are, is because they literally can track where the money came right from the client account. And so they have something that a judge doesn't have to make ruling, or a judge did and still does. But I mean, like, honestly, the nightmare about reconciling all of what Tom Girardi has done is that it will take years upon years to get finality for any of this. Just will.
Well, I know they got a subtotal because they said the firm itself owed over $101 million.
Yes.
And they know for a fact 25 and some change of that was money directly from the company, the firm, to Erica Global on that Amex or whatever that credit card is.
Yeah, it was some partial like Amex stuff and then other expenses, but yes.
So as far as I know, they've already convicted her. or found her liable for the 25 some odd million. That whatever that credit card debt is on her currently.
I don't think it's that simple. It's because yes, she's on. Let's put it this way: there's nothing to enforce, and she's not been there's nothing final yet that is a bill that she has to pay yet, like in the court records or anything. Yeah, like they're still reconciling all of it. But to your point, what it looks like is they're gonna at the very when they do come for her, it will be upwards of 25 million. To your point, like you know what I mean. But they haven't shaken all of that out yet. And her law team can still appeal. Like there's still so much more that has to happen. That's the shitty. Can we go see it? Yeah, that's the shitty part about it.
I think she's gonna delay.
Oh yes, mm-hmm.
As long as
Absolutely.
she financially can.
Yep.
Until it's time to fess up, and hopefully by then, all of her ducks will be in a row. She found a new coupe de ville to roll on, and if not already, because she's advertising to the whatever. Folks ain't even bidding, and she she advertising.
Right. Yeah.
Throwing it out there like see where it stick. Where could my pussy stick? Let's see if I throw it over here.
Flinging it all around and see where it lands.
Girl. But it got PK talking, so she must be doing something right.
She should try flinging it in him and see if he's not gotten any money. That's why she knows better. Because
if he presented $500,000, she would do whatever he asked her to do.
Oh, totally. But he doesn't have $500,000.
You don't know that.
I don't. Well, yeah, but I mean, they're the other couple that the storyline is money troubles. So
I think they have a good at least 1 million liquid to actually work with right now. The Kimsleys, whatever their last name is. I honestly do think they have 1 million liquid that they're sitting on in order to live where they are and do all of that. They need not just housewives money, but I do know they just came off of a big old debt and paying this and paying that. Whatever he's doing, I don't know exactly what his business is, but they need this show for show.
Mm-hmm.
And
definitely,
hopefully her dress line is selling. But the bees fell off, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Hey, I'm back.
Okay.
Girl, it got hot in here. It is hot outside. I love it though. I love the heat.
Well, then you're in the right area. How hot is it today there?
Wait, that's not right. Oh, I hope that wasn't a loud echo. Yeah, let's see. Where's the? Oh, that's interesting. There it is. It's only 88 right now.
That's not that bad.
It was 92 earlier.
Yeah, you'd like the heat.
I love. Ooh, it's gonna be really hot next week. Yeah, baby. I love it. Can't wait to get to New Orleans. I'm talking like I'm going. But yeah, Beverly Hills heifers. Diana lied, and she gonna have to clear that up.
She did.
You know, that's not being clumsy with your words. You lying.
Agreed.
No, what my dad say? You tell them you are terribly mistaken.
Yes.
You are terribly mistaken.
Yeah, that is a terribly mistaken interpretation of their conversation. Nation.
She clearly said and prefaced with the empathy and see, lying.
That whole conversation was
they
weird.
don't check, and production didn't even fact check her with their little flashback. See, I see what they doing. They trifling too.
I know. I thought the whole conversation between them was really weird, to be honest with you, because that was Sutton started out, like I said, the way that she said, "You're going to have to explain yourself to the group." I would have been like, "I am not explaining shit to anyone." So I did kind of get why it started kind of to not go well between them, but I don't understand where all of a sudden Diana flipped the switch and they're hugging and laughing, and it's like, wait, what? No, this was getting heated, and then drunk Kyle got in again and interfered inappropriately, and now you guys are hugging. What just happened? What happened?
Yeah, I blinked and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? So Diana apparently will throw herself off a boat and will throw herself off a conversation. Like, that's her tactics.
Swim away, do, swim away, do.
We could call her Baby Shark.
Swim away.
Oh no, baby, nothing. Oops.
I'm just referencing the swim away part.
Yes.
Heifer. Yeah. Little lion heifer. See, it's one thing to be clumsy with your words, but to outright tell a story and be terribly mistaken.
Well, it's something Pepperidge Farms is gonna remember. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean?
For cheesy.
It's like, I'm gonna remember your first season that when you like talked about stuff, you straight up lied about it.
Hello.
Kind of like Crystal.
Heifer. You don't think we see you?
I know. Apparently not. Apparently not. That's what I said earlier. I'm like, I guess she's, because maybe this is her first season. It's not occurring to her that we watched the argument that she's talking to Lisa Rinna about.
Do you think possibly Rinna or whoever said go light on Diana with the production?
No, I think that the production gives most of them a favorable edit, or like gives them a do you know what I mean? Like, I think that they all probably get it easier their first season, especially when they're uber wealthy. Like I think look at Kathy had a kid glove season, her first season. And so I think they were kind of trying to give Diana a little bit more of a favorable time of it in general. Mm-hmm. But she's just not translating well.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not here to completely, like, the jury's out until the reunion if I'm willing to see you again. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, you also can see first timers have a rocky trajectory. She's certainly not having a stellar first season, despite having a kind edit, you know? She's just weird.
You know, did you catch that whore read when Sutton read that phone number out?
I did, yes.
Girl, Sutton read her so slick.
And I know the socially awkward one nailed it with that one. Because at first I was like, what are you doing?
That's the equivalent. Yeah, that's the equivalent of calling her a bitch twice in her face.
Yeah.
No, beep, beep, beep. Say it again. Beep. She said twice.
8675309 for a good time.
I said, ooh.
Jenny, I got your number.
See, it ain't just us that know the tea and ain't afraid to say it. And I think you can tell a difference in the delivery of information from the Southern girls and the other girls. Because both Sutton and Erica have that Southern to them, that gangsta, that, you know, that mouth, as I'm trying to say. It's interesting. Everybody else is more, you know, I guess, Miss Priss about it.
Right. I get what you're saying. Yeah, a little more precious. Like I said, I feel like the dynamic between the women this season is weird. I don't like the group chemistry so far.
You know, hold that thought. I think I heard the door. Hold on. Hey, mamas.
Hello.
Adult time is over.
Okay, I was about to tell you the same thing.
We have made it through a live with everything. That was interesting and fun.
It was. We'll do it again.
For sure. Real soon.
All
That
right.
was cute.
And on that note, we will say good night.
Good night, y'all. Peace out. See you next time.